Recording in progress, Liz.
I'm ready.
Really? Are
No.
you sure? Hello.
Good morning. Welcome to the Sun Dragon Sideshow. The
Yep.
Dear Becky and Lizzie with no questions edition.
I was trying to do your part
Sorry.
because you did my part, but the Adventures of Liz and Rebecca, Dear Becky and Lizzie edition.
Yeah.
Whew. Trying to see if my hair stays up. Well, it's already down, but whatever. Okay. Hi. Welcome to the sideshow. The Dear Becky and Lizzie without any writing questions, right? Are you triple checking?
I am double checking.
But that's okay because we can find things to talk about. I was telling Liz before I hit go, and yes, I have little tails that I have not woven in yet on this, the shawl I just finished, the Shimmering Pearl. I am trying it out on top of different sweaters. So this is my Sorrel Sweater. The interesting thing about having any type of yoke pattern, whether it's textured or color or like different colors, and wearing a shawl on top of it, is it covers that up.
Yeah.
But this is more, I would consider a solid sweater. It's got texture up here and that's all good. You can still see it in the back. You know, people looking at my backside can still see the fun pattern. But I'm seeing how this neutral goes with different colors. I wore it with my sparkly black yesterday. And can always try to rearrange it so it's looser or tighter. Da, 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 da. There's like little hints of green in this that don't really clash with the green in here. So I think it kind of goes. It works. I think I like it better with this than with this guy because it's like two busies. They're both neutral. But anyway.
No.
Don't you love us anyway? No, I'm kidding. It's fine. We can find things to talk about. So and work is continuing on some of our projects. I mean, we really spent Tuesday talking about that. But we can always, I made a video yesterday. So on camera, we put my no frill sweater on and off the barber cords. And shout out to Jeff. He already said, hey, I haven't seen anyone take it off the barber cords yet. So that was really neat to see. It was good to see that it kind of goes back on the needles just about as easily as it came off. I made a video before I left the shop yesterday for social media who are not YouTubers because they should be, but you know, to show them how the barber cords work. And it was taking the torso of this sweater onto the barber cords. And one thing I'll suggest is that I found there that I didn't really have to worry about on camera with the no frills was when you stick it on the tip of your needle and slide things off. If you really have to muscle your stitches around the tubing, you could yank too hard and yank it off of your needle. So, but my solution to that is just pinch it where it's connected to the needle as you're sliding things around, or pinch it just after. Yeah. Like so that when it tugs, it stops tugging where your finger is. It's, you know, kind of works. So I put everything from this sweater on barber cords on the fuchsia this time. And then I slid them back off, not on camera, but I slid them back off last night so I could get some knitting done to finally have a little bit of progress with my second color. So this is from the Ready Set Raglan book, which is here in the shop, but not in my possession. Mine is at home. I am kind of loving this. Just tie off your knitting barber cords. Yeah. You know, and they'll stay until you untie them. And I've got, if I had it all on the barber cords, I could try it on again. But I'm getting, I want to say it's what, 2 inches, maybe not quite, of color. It's like torso, shouldn't call it hell, but kind of is. Torso Island, you know, is where I'm at with this one.
Sleeve
with
Island.
both of them. Yeah, so it's tough sometimes. You have to like sit down and force yourself to work. And yesterday was another day when I went home. There was enough going on that I didn't get. I got maybe, you know, a few rows of this done. That was it.
I started my new one.
Yeah.
And okay, so like for the size that I'm doing on the
not the thistle
not
either.
The thistle. I'm waiting on the
Started
thistle
another
because
one.
I'm waiting for yarn. Friday. So I started the watercolor pullover by Tiffany. Owen.
I'm paying attention. I'm gonna go grab things. Before
And I was
forget.
like, I don't need to buy this color that I want to put in there.
Watercolored pullover is cute. It's bulky,
Yeah,
chunky
bulky weight.
yarn.
It's awesome.
Hopefully a fast knit. I mean, you already showed me pictures last night, right?
Yeah, but I'm gonna change that. I'm not sure I like the green all the way up by my collar. I don't know.
Can you swap the green with the dovestone to still use it in your sweater?
Oh yeah.
Because I do like the avocado.
I'm going to use the avocado as the smaller accents, but not the most. The reason I started with the avocado was because I was like, A, I have it, and B, I have to start my sweater, and C, I don't have as much dovestone as I thought I did. Like, I was like, oh, I don't need to buy the dovestone because I have some at home. I am like 10 yards short of what I need for, and yes, I did yardage. Like, yeah, I pulled out 20 yards worth of pull and like measured it, and then I weighed it, and that's like 9 grams, and I only have like 38 grams.
She did math.
Calculated. And
I don't even do that much math.
Well, it's the second color in the sweater. You just need this tiny bit, and I was short.
And especially if you might be changing up what color goes where.
Yeah,
you're gonna need more.
Yeah. So I sent Rebecca a text and went like, I should have bought the dovestone yesterday or this morning afternoon. Good thing we're open tomorrow. Yeah.
I didn't send her the emoji, but I'm like, sad knitter. Yes, it happens all the time.
So it will get restarted tonight.
I was thinking on the way in, because there were news stories about podcasts and things, which we won't get into. But when we first started this, we call this a podcast because it kind of is a vlog cast or whatever. And like all the streaming services and all this, I'm rambling because squirrel, no one gave us questions.
Is this our 200th episode?
Oh, yes. Woo! We already have a sale going. We're not going to do a sale about it. So we'll remind you all of the sale. This is our last day to remind you of the sale. Anyway, there was stuff about podcasts and streaming, and I was like, yeah, maybe we should do that. And then the rest of me is like, I feel like the reason we've stayed on YouTube is ours is a very visual. Like,
it is.
You could listen to it on your drive home. I know some people do that. Shout out to Cindy. But if we just put the recordings of these up on a streaming service where you're only listening, I feel like something would be lost, because we're showing stuff off half the time, and half the time like
we're pretty visual.
Yeah, I talk with my hands, but on top of that, like, I'm sure there are knitting podcasts, and I'm sure you're all going to tell us about them, where it's only listening and it works. I feel like that's not us, so anyway.
I couldn't make faces. I could make faces, but no one would see them.
No one would see my reaction to that. It still might be amusing if you know us. You can like visual. It's like when you're listening to a book on tape, but you already have images in your head, or you've seen a show, and so then the images are, they could complement each other. But I feel like that's one more thing. It's just so hard right now. There's so many things. Okay. No, I just ran and grabbed some colors because, well, we still have to plan out my Avena sweater.
Yes.
I really should get a little further on, like, I'm already using up my own barber cords from the sweaters I have on needles. I should not start another. Heads up, we're already out of violet barber cords. Already gone. We've had them a day.
We had a run on them last night.
We did. I'm putting in another order, but they're coming from Finland, so they may not come for a little bit. So if you can, please satisfy yourself with a different color. If violet was really like your jam and you needed to have it, or call us up and we'll negotiate. We'll say, are you willing to wait? We don't know how long. Then we could put you on the list for violet barber cords. But I am currently using orange and fuchsia, which I cannot spell, on mine. And I really, Well, it's true. If I start a new sweater, it might be a while before I have to use the cords again, and maybe I could get another one off and not waste any more in my shop. So,
I was
so
good and bought black and white. I did not buy.
you didn't buy the bright colors, but maybe there's people out there who want to use them, who want the neutrals.
For me, I'm like, it's not like yarn. You can, I bought the white one for light or for dark colored sweaters, and I bought the black one for light colored sweaters, and I don't know.
Well,
Eventually I want a red one, but
well, and you will. It's all good. No, wait, no. Come on, open up in my computer. This is not a computer. My phone is having issues, and apparently I can't type and talk at the same time.
technically it's a computer.
This could not be deciphered. Actually, a long pause like that on a podcast, you would know what's going on.
You have to squinch your nose.
Actually, on a podcast, I could actually give you fingers.
I know.
And people would just have to guess that I was giving you fingers, or I'd have to just tell them I was giving you fingers.
I would post commentary about, and now she's squinching her nose, which is code for.
You do like the Morgan Freeman voiceover. Okay, so we were talking about these a lot on Knit Night, and I think I might actually have to do them. I was grabbing yarn for the smog mittens. I'm trying to get that close enough to so you can kind of see them. Because, Sun Dragon, if it's got dragons on mittens and it's winter. So I'm thinking about, our dragon is yellow for the shop. So we got to do this, right? And I'm thinking about his outline would be, I'm going back and forth. I mean, this is really our red, right? Not this, but this would be pretty. This is wine. This is red. These are really our shop colors. So I really should do this. But part of me is like, ooh.
Yeah, but we have other stuff that's
Actually,
that's kind of just off shop colors.
true. If I did this though, I should use the other yellow.
Yes.
The darker yellow.
Yes. Which we have less of.
Yeah. Because I bought a lot of this because I want to make my mittens. Now I'm torn. Okay.
It's a problem.
The eyes, I think, are gonna be blue like this. I will have so much of this left over though. This is a little lighter than it shows up on camera as we're filming. It's more of a like marine blue. Yeah, it's also called marine. Not quite a navy. Because navy is back ordered right now. But mini bags of mystery out of my leftovers.
Look through the minion bags of mystery and see what blues we have instead of you opening up a whole nother skein.
But I like this color. But she's right. I know. Little, like if you saw this picture, it's not much. You probably need just a few yards.
If that.
Well, you have to go all the way around the cuff a couple times.
Oh.
So there's like a little highlight of, if that color is the one I choose to, anyway. Maybe I could use black there. I have decisions to make. Bright or, okay, since I'm on this track, hang on.
And this is why we can't do a podcast without visual.
So you guys would just have to like imagine what I was doing. I have to place a cascade order anyway. So there's bright, muted. This feels mustard to me now though. This is not making me happy. No. This is why we do this, right? This is why you have to look at the colors. I think I'm gonna go with the bright and vibrant. Okay. Thank y'all for coming with me on that journey.
If you do
but
switch the mustard and the wine, just one yellow for each.
What?
Do the Christmas red with the mustard. That
Maybe?
Could actually work better.
Than this?
Yeah.
But we
How many people are making yellow mittens?
Well, but the reason we only have one of these is because this has been popular as opposed to the really bright one.
No, it's only been popular once.
I'll think about it. So bright with bright or more muted mustardy with bright. Kind of like the sunny cheery. We'll see. I mean, I'm probably going to go back and forth 16 times before I start this project. So
It'll be whatever wound gets yarned tonight. Whichever yarn gets wound tonight.
or before I go home. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what tonight.
Anyway, so oh, I should mention I have stuff I've prepped here as like possible filler, which I'm gonna get to in a second. So, but she knows. Stop acting like you don't know. So might be a good time right in the middle here randomly, instead of people skimming to the beginning or the end, to mention we are having our big sale because we hit 700 subscribers.
Woohoo!
I think in my email, I just saw another subscriber. So we might be up to 706. Awesome. Liz will check. So the sale goes through Monday. This is our last day to remind you that this mega sale is happening. You can save 27% with the code Sideshow 700 in our online shop. You can also save through Saturday by coming into the shop and mentioning Sideshow 700 discount at checkout. But
706.
we're still growing. We didn't hit 700 and people are like, I'm done. Thank you very much to all of our subscribers. So again, Sideshow as a word, 700 as numbers will save you 27% off in our online shop. And at this point, it's whatever's there. Like you can call us and see if there's yarn in the shop that you might want instead of what's listed online, like something that we have that's not online yet because it's too complicated and I'm already exhausted. But like for the gadgets and gizmos and things, what we have is what we have. I mean, if you contact us before Saturday, we can negotiate or we can talk about if something that's out of stock, we could let you pre-order at that price. But that's only a few things. That's some stuff we might not be able to get back in, or if we can't guarantee it, we're not going to do it. We're not going to take your money if we don't know.
Just a heads up, we could get between dusting and 2 inches of snow is the latest.
I was going to
Friday
ask
night.
you about that. Like,
so there were like there
snow?
could be dry pockets. But like it's supposed to be in the 40s on Friday and then drop off overnight, and then the next day we never come up of freezing. So if we get any precipitation,
we may or may not be open on Saturday, I think is what Liz is saying.
Just call the shop like normal, but
call the shop. If no one picks up, we're not here.
Yeah.
And if you can always email me, and if as long as I have power and get back to you.
If you call the shop asking for a pre-order,
it's not going to happen.
We won't
get the message until we can come back to the shop, which with good weather will be Tuesday. I think I heard something on the drive-in about how like the high tomorrow is going to be in the 20s or something. Maybe it was for
Saturday. The
That
wind chills are probably going to be in the 20s.
I heard highs in the 20s and went, ugh.
There's a cold front coming through, and like I saw somebody's
for us, that's really cool.
Wind chill charts, like our temperatures are going to be in the 20s and our wind chills are going to be in the single digits.
More knitting, please.
Friday is going to be a high of 48 for here and a low of 16. Saturday, we might get to 30 degrees and a low of 16.
That's cold. For us, that's
yes.
cold. All right, so we've had a lot of people interested in these in the shop lately, which is fantastic. This is our gleaner on the go. And I have several sweaters here that could use some help from this. So anyone who's like, what is a gleaner? It is an adorable, awesome gadget that's basically like a sweater comb on steroids. I saw someone on Instagram today who was using the electric shaver, and those are okay. They got it for like $10 on Amazon. And I'm like, if I only paid $10 for an electric shaver, I'd be a little worried it might accidentally eat my stuff. But it could be fine.
I like my gleaner.
I like my gleaner too. Like having some hand control over it and stuff. It's okay. It's shaped the same size as, for me, what I would call an old-fashioned lint brush, and it's got that velvet for the lint brush on one side, which works in one direction. And then it's got the place for your sweater comb, and it has 3 different ones: coarse, medium, and fine. And it comes with like instructions, but it also has a little picture inside that's like, that kind of like describes what you do and which one. Like if you've got big funky pills, you use this one. If you've got finer pills, and it goes down, you know, and you can take out one of them and put in another and stick the one you just took out in the empty spot and close it up and go. I actually want the coarse one out though, because I have 2 sweaters here that could use a little help.
I have used the very, very fine one
Mhm.
on like athletic t-shirts that, you know, have just enough mix of cotton and
That there's some
not.
pilling.
There's,
So
yeah.
let's talk about pills. Like the little lumps that you get, especially on hand knits, but you can get them on anything. The pants I'm wearing have them. Where stuff rubs together, there will be pillage. There will be pillaging. No, not that kind of pillaging. So not the Viking kind that happens at the shop. So any place stuff rubs together, fabric rubs together, you can have pills.
My wool dreads get pills.
Like, see all this? See that? See all that? This is my striped sweater that your dreads get pills. Okay,
Yeah.
My ears are catching up. This is my striped sweater that's made out of the Plymouth Hearthstone, which I consider a pretty nice yarn. And it's very soft. And that's the thing, is like, especially if it's soft, depending on the construction of the yarn, you're going to get pills. We had someone come into the shop and said, she's wearing this really cute little sweater that I could tell she knit. And she's like, yeah, it's inexpensive yarn and it pills. And I'm going, we really need to dispel this myth that only inexpensive
I try.
yarn. I know, only inexpensive yarn pills, because people come in and they're like, I want soft and not yarn that doesn't pill. Because
like,
I think they think it's synonymous with cheap.
It's generally the softer the yarn, the more it will pill, but everything will pill. Like when people are like, well, cotton doesn't pill, check your armpits on your t-shirts. They're pilling. You know, no, like it just,
no,
especially
I know.
loved t-shirts, they're gonna pill because fibers that rub together are going to kind of ball up. It's a thing.
Well, and
it's
especially
neither bad nor good. It's just a thing.
It's a thing. And it doesn't imply something that is of lesser quality.
Yeah.
But it does that. In fact, there's something kind of synonymous with softness is gonna pill. Because like this so okay, if your cotton shirt pills, I wouldn't go demand your money back because it's of a lesser quality. Like the soft cotton t-shirts that I got for as a shop fundraiser last year, some of them have holes in them now, and from people wearing them a lot, you know. But
and some people say, well, wool pills, but acrylic shouldn't. I have acrylic sweaters that are 20 years old that are pilled to high heaven.
We have acrylic in the shop that says it's anti-pill, and
it's probably pill resistant, like waterproof and water resistant.
And by the same token, people will be like, okay, the acrylic should pill, but the wool shouldn't. Like everyone has these ideas in their heads of what, like, because they consider acrylic cheap, which, you know, acrylic brings down the price of something.
It does.
Acrylic does not necessarily mean not soft. And then again, if it's soft, oftentimes what I say to people, or what, you know, like this has not pilled as much because it has a tighter spin on it.
Yeah.
And it's still springy and soft, but it's not super luxurious soft. But even this, I can find a few spots where there's a couple pills. This sweater, okay, and this sweater I made, you know, a year ago or so. I've lost track. In the pandemic, I made the sweater. So yes, it's aged and it's pilled. This sweater I just made over Christmas break. It already needs work depilling. And I made it out of our new luxurious Lily Kate Makes Axis. And I am not going to come on camera and say like, well, because it's pilling, it's a crappy yarn. It's a really wonderful, really nice yarn. I'm not gonna stop using it or not make anything out of it because I've got pills on it. It's, look at that. Look at that. It's because I love it and I've been wearing it every day. And honestly, the the more you have pieces of you that rub against other pieces of you, which could be because you've got curves, the more things are going to pill. Yeah, unless you want to walk like this, around like this all day. Walking like this, guess where I get my pills, you know?
I tell everybody, if you want a guaranteed no pill, get plastic tubing. And everybody laughs and
like the barber cords.
Yeah, like run your
Which are
yarn
cute,
through plastic tubing and then you won't have pills. And they're like, but then it won't be soft. Yeah, but that's pretty much the only way you're not gonna have pills apart from walking like a T.
Right. And and the tighter the spin on something, the more the structure will hold up to pilling.
But it won't be as nice.
It won't be as soft. It won't be as nice. Absolutely. It's like that if you want the three thing, you know, you want inexpensive and soft and won't pill, what overlaps there, it's almost non-existent.
Yeah.
You got to pick two of the three.
It's like absorbent and fluffy in towels.
We've had that
you
discussion
can't have both.
many times. Yes. But so this is pilling. I have the mittens that I made out of the Lily Kate Makes Axis because I'm using them so much. They're not necessarily pill. I mean, they kind of are, but they're like almost felting. And I'm okay with that. Like they're relaxed because they're made out of a thicker yarn than the pattern calls for. And I'm okay with that because they're warm and wonderful. And so, but I'm trying to see, it's going to be hard unless I prop it up on something. And that might be a little challenging to show you all what I'm going to do. And I mean, the quality of our film, like you can see the pills actually from there. You can see some of this roughness. Let me try, kind of works better on a flat surface, but let me try propping it up a little. So, and some places where it pills is right on the patterning, and I want to clean that up. But all I do with this guy, if you rub it over, and because I'm on an uneven surface, this is a little harder to do, but I have really chunky pills. So I am using the thickest one. And if I wanted to take it down to something more fine, if I still felt like as I was doing this, there were still pills there, then I would change out. See why I can't talk and do things? That's why I don't knit during these shows. I would switch it out to a finer one to kind of clean it up a little bit more. But I keep finding spots. I'm like, I should go do this spot now. But for the spot, I was just showing y'all to like have this happen right on camera, right? We have this in different colors. Some of the colors we're out of, and we have them in some prints too. I just got all of this off my sweater. And some people are like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna like destroy my sweater if I do this. So this is part of why I'm doing this on camera, is you can still see all the pills over here, right? I didn't touch that. But this spot, this one spot right in here, I've cleaned up a bunch of the pills already just by what I just did. And if I kept going, so like, again, I just showed you guys this little hairy spot. If I wanted to get, if you're looking at what I just cleaned up and you're like, there's still stuff there, it might be that I have to go with a finer gauge on it. But I like
it could just
doing this
be a
by
halo
hand.
on your
well, there is some fuzzy halo on this, it's true. I like doing this by hand because I can really, I know when to stop, you know. Again, not that I am at all worried about suddenly having a hole in this sweater by doing this. Like this sweater is not even a month old and it is pilling, but I just cleaned up a whole bunch of it. Like you can probably still see a few little spots, but this is already, I need to do down there, but this is already a lot better than the other side because I started using my gleaner, my sweater comb on it. I'm going to look for, I feel like there's a spot on the front. When I look down on it, I can see like where I need to glean, you know, from further away. When I'm not looking down on it, it doesn't look so bad. I really think it was the sleeves. Wait, here's a spot. So this is the front. Okay, good. I'm confusing my front and the back. So
You
right
need
in here,
those
you see
tags.
that? You see all the fuzzies right on that yellow part right there? I do. Katrinkles has these tabs. We might be bringing some Katrinkle stuff into the shop eventually. Katrinkles has these tabs that you can put on the inside to tell you which side's the back.
I just use a little open close stitch marker on the back.
And I was going to do this for a morning meditation potentially, but now that I'm doing, I'll leave some spots so I can do a different spot for a morning meditation. Shout out to Maren. She had the idea for that. So I'm trying to just clean up in the color work a little bit of this pilling. So that's not just my blue. I got a little yellow in there.
It looks so good.
It already looks better. Look at that. It already looks a little bit better. But I really could probably glean like the entire thing.
Mhm.
And I'm going to leave, oh, look at that spot over there. I'm going to leave that for tomorrow morning for morning meditation. I think that's a great idea because it might give me a morning off from
Knitting.
But yeah, compare the two sides now. Like one is it like you can clean up a sweater without, you know, destroying it and without having to say, oh no, this sweater is a loss because it's soft. This is a wonderful yarn and there's probably a few $100s worth in this sweater. And I'm not going to suddenly say this yarn is not worth working with because it has gotten fuzzy and pilly. Part of that's the fiber. There's some alpaca in this and the merino, and it's stuff that's going to, with friction. That's the same reason that you don't throw 100% wool sweater in the washing machine, because friction and heat, heat, friction, agitation, all that kind of stuff. The heat and agitation is going to do things to fibers.
And
it's a solution.
It's ultimately, even with the pilling, it's not losing as much volume as you think it is. Like it's all puff and stuff. It's almost like when you lose your hair in the shower. Like it's not as much as you think it is.
It's not that a sweater grows back.
No.
But just to be clear. But yeah, doing this is going to massively help your sweater look better. I mean, I wouldn't do it every week necessarily, although this one, this will be my trial run with this guy because he's fuzzy.
But you've worn him
pilling.
You've worn that sweater for like a week and a half straight.
As I do with my newly finished sweaters.
As you do with your newly finished, like yeah.
And so I just noticed what time it is. We should have opened the shop like 5 minutes ago. But this was so much fun. And I will do a close-up morning meditation type on the other side where, the other side of the girls where it's gotten a little pilly. This will be fun. We have these in our online shop, by the way, in all different colors. Like I said, limited quantities right now, but with this massive sale, why not grab one? I think we retail them for like 14 or something, or 13
something
around there. This one doesn't have a price tag on it because it's mine. So I don't think we have this color right now, to be quite honest. But we have other solid colors and we have prints, like flower prints and fun things like that. For me, it's a must have in my knickknacks and doodads and all that. I have basically one of everything in the shop anyway. But okay, so we won't be filming again until this sale is over. So have a good weekend. Come to knit, sit and stitch tomorrow night.
828-877-3550 is the Zoom code.
7 to 9 p.m. Join us there. And a bunch of people have bought yarn for the Echo Point knit along. Send us your pictures, put them on social media. Join the Facebook page that we started, Sun Dragon KAL. All that good stuff. Have fun, enjoy, and we'll see you next week.
Like, subscribe, ring the bell, Patreon, all that fun stuff too.
Yes, if you'd like to support us with a monetary donation, go over to Patreon. We love our patrons. Thank you so much. If you want to support us without money, you can subscribe here because that ends up benefiting everybody. So, all right, gotta go. Bye.